Stay down. Sheamus, I have lost to you. I have beaten you. Tonight, I might have lost once again, but
if you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, it's the Red Carpet Ring. Turnbuckle King here, guys. We got another good one for you guys today. We'll talk about WWE Raw. Number one contendership tag team tournament concludes. Dirty Dominik Mysterio versus Damian Priest. Let's get the likes up as we come into the ring. And of course, I ask you guys to do that simple task before we begin.
Not real.
Trust me.
What? That doesn't do anything, man.
All right, let's get it going. We here on live on Facebook and X as well as YouTube. And we also got a bonus round for Crown Jewel final predictions. We have the PLE, upcoming PLE, that will be this Saturday in Saudi Arabia at a special time. But with that being said, guys, let's see who came to the ring before we begin. C. Lamar, salute to you. Ruliana, salute to you. Let's get into it, guys. Now, before we do begin, let's look over the Raw match card that was advertised. We're going to look over the matches here. Let's look over that for a couple minutes. Then I'll go over and explain the match card. All right, we got Dominik Mysterio versus a mysterious opponent. Then we also have a tag team match. We have a number one contendership tag team match. We also have as well that other matches. We got the Braun Breaker, Jey Uso here, Ludwig, Kaiser versus Sheamus. They have that rivalry going on. Then we also have Seth Rollins up here. We have Ivy Nile versus Zelina Vega. So let's talk about that. But other than that, though, let's get into it, dude. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into the whole show. To kick off Raw, we had the Usos reunite. We had these guys reunite. We also had them as well. They was going to go on, and we know that Jey Uso was going to come out. You know, he talked about being on SmackDown. We also had Jey Uso talk about his history with the bloodline, everything. We talked about the whole history of everything. But it was really, really crazy how this went down. It's really crazy of everything, how this began. And it's just, everything comes full circle. Now, when he did talk, we know his brother was going to come out. You guys remember Jimmy came out. He talked to, they was fresh off them hugging each other on SmackDown. But Jimmy asked Jay to join him. And Jimmy Uso thanked him for his help on SmackDown, said they need to be together to take down Solo and the Bloodline. And Jay said, we good, but they still are fixing it. They have to fix their relationship. And he said if they was going to reunite, they wouldn't be somebody's yes man, henchman. They're going to do things the right way. He said, you're Jimmy Uso, I'm Jay Uso. And he said, we're going to do this right. And basically, we had Bloodline coming and attack them, all of them. And the Usos putting that work. They really gave it to the Bloodline. I got to give it to them. They really putting that work. Much credit to them.
You about to get that work, son.
So definitely they did their thing there. And then the whole thing reunited. It was a good way to kick off Raw. And I got to give them brothers a yeet.
Yeet.
Definitely. This is going to be very good setup for Survivor Series. So we definitely going to see what else is going to go on. Like I said, this is why Jey Uso had to lose the Intercontinental Championship like he did. He had to do it because they had to set up for this whole thing here, which they did do. But other than that, though, this was a good way to kick off Monday Night Raw. Let's get on to the first match of the night, shall we? We had, this is on one. We had Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. Now, these two had a match. This match was good. It's like we see Kaiser at first, then we don't see him. But I don't know. It's crazy. But other than that, though, it is crazy how this whole thing's going along. It's crazy how this whole thing began, but I will say with these two here that it was definitely a lot of animosity that was built in this match. Now, Sheamus, he's been looking real good in his matches lately. Sheamus been shining. He been doing his thing. I know Kaiser is still looking good. He took good control in the beginning. But I like how Kaiser is quick with the drop kicks and the offense. And I like how Sheamus come back with the power. But long story short, Sheamus defeated Kaiser. One-on-one match. These two definitely put in that work for real. So I gotta give it to them. These guys are good. These guys are really, really good. I love the work rate of Sheamus. I like the work rate of Kaiser as well. We can't forget about that. These guys always manage to put on a very good match with one another. No matter what the case may be. Like I said, Sheamus, he's been getting some flack for not stepping up. But in the past couple years, I saw it ever since the whole match he had with Gunther at Clash at the Castle 2022. He's been really putting it on since then. And I got to give it to Sheamus. This was a very, very good matchup. So I'm going to give him one of these for that. Because he definitely deserved it.
Yeet.
Yeah, yeet for Sheamus and for Kaiser. Kaiser's good too. Kaiser's definitely going to be one of the major players in WWE. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the world champion, but he's definitely going to be an important figure on the roster. He'll be an important part of the show. He could be the guy that be all high mid card or whatever the case may be. But I definitely am seeing him being that. But salute to Sheamus. Salute to Kaiser. These guys definitely put in the real work. And I like this match and where it's going. And Kaiser, he has something to say too during the right after the match backstage. And it doesn't look like this feud is far from over.
Stay down. Sheamus, I have lost to you. I have beaten you. Tonight, I might have lost once again.
So Kaiser's not worried about it. He rubbing it off. He shrugged it off like it's nothing. Now let's get to another part of the show. that we saw prior. We got the Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed Raw. Now, supposedly these two are not supposed to be brawling like that. However, they was fight. Seth Rollins cut a promo. He's actually been real serious lately in his role. Actually come off as a heel. And Bronson Reed interrupted during his promo, and Seth Rollins said, "You know what, big man, I'm going to come to you." They start fighting backstage. Seth was getting some offense. Bronson getting some offense. Now, Bronson threw Seth on top of the car. He tossed him over there. Next thing we know, Seth Rollins did the stomp on top of the car. And he walked off. He said, "Okay, I'm done." And then Bronson was getting up. Seth went back and found some more. And then he shut the door on Bronson. But then Bronson threw the garbage can at Seth, got inside the trailer, and he threw him from the trailer onto the car. But it was good, very good segment there. These two are definitely hyping up their match for Crown Jewel. It was good hype. The only thing I didn't like about this is I wish they didn't do it so much because we've seen it already, but I get what they was trying to do. They really want to sell this match for Crown Jewel. But I'll get to more into that later. And that's the end of that particular segment. Let's get to another part of the match. We got Ivy Nile versus Zelina Vega one-on-one. Let's talk about that. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, I know, really honest. Not the best. I didn't like this either, to be honest with you guys. Zelina Vega, Ivy Nile. I like Ivy Nile. I'll be honest, but you know, it was so predictable. You know, the Creed brothers stepped in, they saved Ivy Nile. Then we know that they end up fighting with LWO. Now Ivy Nile saw that and she took advantage of that. Zelina Vega got the win. Nothing to talk too much about here. But that was the end of that match. Ivy Nile defeats Zelina Vega one-on-one. Let's talk about this match, however. The New Day versus War Raiders. War Raiders versus LWO. Now this here is going to be a triple threat. And a triple threat here, it is going to be a number one contenders. It was for the number one, the tag team title tournament. And this tournament here is going to be for the World Tag Team Championships. So anyway, we had these three. This was a very good matchup. I like these guys going at it. And shout out to the War Raiders getting their name back. They looked good in that match. It looked like Eric, like he slimmed down a little bit. Ivar looks very smooth in the ring. So these guys look good. No more Viking Raiders, War Raiders, their original name back in the NXT days. However, these three teams definitely went out. They did their thing. Of course, Chad Gable interfered. He pulled Rey Mysterio out the ring with an ankle lock. War Raiders got because remember from before prior that we was going to have during the Ivy Nile and Zelina Vega match, we did see, Creed Brothers get into it with LWO. So that was continuing on. And Chad Gable screwed up. He screwed over the LWO. New Day, we knew they weren't going to win. So War Raiders could continue in the tournament. They defeated both New Day and LWO. And that allowed to pin Kofi Kingston for the victory. So salute to them. Good match of that on that end. I like where this is going. War Raiders, I really hope they become World Tag Team Champions in the near future. So definitely something I like. Now let's move on to the main event, guys. We had Damian Priest versus Dominik Mysterio. Dirty Dom, the former world champion he had to face was his former Judgment Day stablemate and former world champion Damian Priest. This match here, again, so predictable. Dirty Dom used any slick tactic he can as a heel. and Damian Priest uses power to his advantage to do anything he can. It was really nothing. It's really nothing to talk about here, guys. Nothing to brag about. Nothing to brag about here. I'll be honest with you. There's nothing really to brag about. Was not really feeling this too much. I really wasn't. I really didn't like this whole thing. So, other than that, despite of course, we had distractions from Judgment Day interfering, like they always do. And Damian Priest took out Carlito. He tried to get his hands on other Judgment Day members. Got his hands on Dom as much as he could. But it was Dominik Mysterio who rolled up the pin on Damian Priest and won the match. Afterwards, Damian Priest did attack Carlito with the South of Heaven. Yes, Damian Priest also attacked Dominik Mysterio with South of Heaven and attacked him multiple times with the chair. And that was it. Damian Priest stood tall despite losing the matchup from Dominik Mysterio. Yes, Dominik Mysterio is supposed to be facing the world champion, the future Gunther. But that was it for that. That was all of Monday Night Raw. That was all the matches as advertised. And a couple segments there too. What is my rating on Monday Night Raw? My rating's a 3.5 out of 5. This was not my most favorite show. I understand that it's also supposed to be the go-home show of Crown Jewel this Saturday, but this was not my most favorite show. It really wasn't, guys. It really, really wasn't. Was not feeling this at all. Was not feeling this. I really wasn't. Not at all. But this is the rating for the show. We'll go over what went wrong with Raw. Then we'll get into current news. But let's start off with that, please. What went wrong with Raw? I got a few things I want to say about this episode of Monday Night Raw. And the first thing I'm going to go what went wrong with Raw. You out here got Seth Rollins built as Superman. And the reason I said it because ever since Seth Rollins came back from the attack from Bronson Reed with 6 tsunamis threw on him, and Bronson Reed attacked Seth out of nowhere, you made Bronson build him up as this monster when he had the feud with Braun Strowman, just tearing up everything he touches. Then as soon as Seth come back, he interfered during the matchup between Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman in the last Monster Standing match. He did the stomp onto the steel steps in the middle of the ring on Bronson Reed, caused him not to get up at the count of 10, meaning Braun Strowman won the match. We haven't seen Braun Strowman since then. That's when Seth raised Braun Strowman's arm in the air. Also, Seth Rollins attacked last week. He attacked Bronson Reed at the beginning of Monday Night Raw as they were showing everybody coming out before the show start. He immediately attacked them. They had a brawl last week. And they do the same thing this week. And it's just this time it's outside. How many times we gonna see these two interact like this? Can we save it for the match? Because if you're gonna do stuff like this, there's no purpose to having a matchup at Crown Jewel and this unsanctioned match also. I believe they're doing too much with this feud here. It's getting a little repetitive, and we don't need to see these two attack each other every single week. Can we give some type of space here? And I think what they're doing is this does not make Bronson Reed look strong at all. He's looking kind of weak out here. Not only is he looking weak, what's the purpose of building him if you're going to have Seth Rollins tear him down? There's too much Seth Rollins getting the advantage. And if they're going to do that, Seth Rollins better off being the heel than have Bronson Reed be the babyface. With that being said, I got one list to put this on, and we already know this list where it deserves to be.
What's going to happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, so this definitely makes the list. I'm not a fan of when stuff go down like that. If you're gonna build someone, build them right. But this was terrible. I thought this could have been done a lot better, way better. I like Seth Rollins, great talent. But if we're gonna bring Bronson Reed up to being a threat on the roster, you can't let Seth Rollins get majority of the offense. That's all I'm saying. That's one thing I didn't like about Monday Night Raw. That's one thing I didn't like about that. And like I said, I'm gonna get to other things too, but that's one thing I definitely want to highlight about that. It's just I really hope they don't continue to build it that way, because it's really not helping anybody for that matter. It's really not building anything. You're just bringing people down if you're going to do it that way. So that's the way I see it. So hopefully they get and I could tell Seth Rollins has full control over this whole thing. That seems obvious to me. But we'll see what else they do. But that right there, they can't do that. They just can't do that at all. Like, seriously, what are we doing here? Seriously, what are we doing? So we gotta see what else next is going to happen as far as this feud goes. I'll definitely know with the match happening at Crown Jewel, because like I said, it is unsanctioned, and we're gonna see what they're gonna do here with this particular matchup. But they really gotta get it together if they want to build something here. I really hope that's the case here. But enough's enough at this point. Another thing I saw about Raw, Zelina Vega needs to be a valet. It needs to be said. I know Zelina Vega, I know she's been petitioning to get a push on Monday Night Raw to get more screen time and more matches. I know she wants to wrestle, not be a valet. Let's face the facts, people. When Zelina Vega came onto the scene WWE in NXT, when she was being a manager valet of Andrade, we loved her in that role. Most of us did. And I would prefer her to be in that role. I'm not buying into the whole Zelina Vega being a wrestler. I mean, it just does not work. I know she tried. I know she had a lot of matches. I mean, she competed for the women's world title this year against Liv Morgan, last year against then champion Bianca Belair. No, I'm sorry, last year that was Io Sky. I'm sorry, not Bianca. She competed against Rhea Ripley, then champion. I'm just saying, this whole Zelina Vega wrestler, I'm sorry, just doesn't work.
No, brother, doesn't work for me right now. You know.
I don't like it. I don't prefer her to be a wrestler. I prefer her to be a valet. Now, granted, I know she had a history in TNA on her real name, Thea Trinidad, when she wrestled and stuff. But that was TNA. This is not now, especially now with the loaded roster of women on Raw and SmackDown. We don't need her as a wrestler. Make her a valet. She's not going to do it. Can we honestly say we see Zelina Vega as a future women's champion? Can we honestly say that? Do you guys see her as a future women's champion? So I'll give you my answer.
No.
So I hope WWE slowly gets her back to being just a valet. Now she can have her little antics where she attacks someone out, during the match, they interfere because she's a babyface. But get her out of matches, please. All her matches are subpar, whether it's single matches or tag team, whether it's a tag team or 6-woman tag, it don't matter. Get her out of there, please. Another thing I saw wrong with Raw, another thing I didn't like. Let's be honest, the main event on Monday Night Raw was very, very average. I did not like this match with Dominik Mysterio, Damian Priest. For Damian Priest, a former world champion, and he was the surprise opponent for Dom, as announced early in the evening. They did not live up to expectations. They didn't live up to expectations as they should. Dominik Mysterio, he gonna do what he do. And this is the problem I had with Damian Priest when he was world champion. He's not a main eventer. Damian Priest is not a main eventer, and he's not the best world champion. I like Dan Priest as a wrestler, but he is not a main eventer. He does not do it for me. He doesn't do it at all. And we saw this in his main event match against Dominik Mysterio. He's just not a main eventer. Definitely not a world champ material. Again, don't put Dan Priest in the spot every week. Don't make a habit of it. Again, it just similar to Zelina Vega. It just does not work for me.
No, brother, it doesn't work for me right now, you know.
It don't work. Let's get that out of our heads right now. I don't see it happening. Tyler, salute to you. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I mean, the main event, when he's in the main event, it really doesn't push the card, doesn't push the needle. It doesn't do anything for that matter. I don't see Damian Priest being a main eventer and just, kicking things off to full gear. I don't see that happening. I don't see it at all. So hopefully, I know Damian Priest they got a storyline. He wants to compete for the world title again, get his fight one-on-one ring match against Gunther. I get that. I understand that. But we are seeing right here, he's not with the world title no more, and he's main eventing Raw, and he's still not making a big of a difference. And with that being said, that goes on only one list when it comes down to that.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, so I just don't. I'm not buying into it. I'm not. That's an issue I saw with Raw. I don't see how it's going to do anything for the roster if you have him to be booked like that every single week. Like I said, I get it. Damian Priest, he's before Gunther, he's the other big man that was champion. I get that. I really do. But they gotta do something about this, period. But we'll see what else happens with WWE on Raw. I don't think Damian Priest is gonna be booked every single night. I'm not saying that either. I'm saying don't make a habit of booking him like that, because it does nothing. It don't hold any value towards that whatsoever. It just don't. No matter how you slice it. I don't see what it can do. That's the only other thing I saw wrong with Raw. We are going to get to current news, guys. The current news that's going on in WWE. Let's get into that. Let's see what else is going on. So, 1 second, we're going to get that going. All right. Let's get more into the current news of WWE. Let's see what the case may be. Current news that's going on right now in the whole WWE as a whole. We'll start with two things. And one thing, this was announced earlier today. And this here is called, it's something new, but this is going to be a groundbreaking changing thing. So we'll see. But we're going to talk about it right now. You guys get the likes up. WWE starts a new program, WWE Independent Developmental. It says right here, a few independent promoters are already worried that WWE ID could be American equivalent of WWE signing all the British talents ahead of launching NXT UK years back, where talents will have issues doing jobs or end up being pulled from dates at WWE the Heist. So they're looking at that. That's one of the concerns with this whole thing. They look at that. That's one thing about the whole WWE ID. Now, I did not know that. I don't know if you guys knew about that. But the thing about what they did say, like I said, it's going to be groundbreaking. It's definitely going to be a game changer for the future. But we will say this too. I think it's going to help out a lot of independents. It's definitely working a way to having WWE pretty much holding down the whole independent scene. That's at least how I see it. So I know more news regarding that. They also said here, this is the original news statement here. It has announced the launch of a first-of-the-kind developmental program designed to provide up-and-coming independent wrestlers as a pathway to a potential career at WWE, and it's called WWID Independent Development. But like I said, this may be some concern because WWE was trying to sign all the British talents ahead of getting the UK. The talents had issues doing jobs or even end up being pulled. And they're talking about that because of the whole visa. Because if they're non-American talents, this may be a problem. But I will say this is WWE's way of monopolizing the whole game. As far as not just WWE, they already got the main roster, they got the NXT. This is a part of the NXT package. I think it's all connected with NXT and how it starts. And I believe that when they do that, I think it's going to set this up where it's going to be, I don't know, it may set up where it could be you do the independent developmental, then you got the next in line people, and then it all set up for NXT. And I think that when you do get with WWE, it's going to somehow prevent you. That's my opinion. I think it's going to somehow prevent you from doing other jobs outside of WWE. You can't do no independent jobs, and it kind of defeats the purpose of being independent. So that kind of, you got to think about that too. It very well could be the case. And I know, like I said, we already have this program too, Next in Line. Now, Next in Line, NIL, this is about college athletes, whether you're in track, football, basketball, softball, tennis, softball, cross country, baseball, whatever it is, track and field, whatever it is. If they sports career don't take off in whatever sport they were in, they could always land a job getting into WWE's program. But now, not only and they were supposed to be for NXT, but now we have the WWID, and I think it kind of conjuncts in with the NIL Next in Line program. So we got to keep mind of that. So definitely keep mind of that. Do I like it? We have to see how it works first. I think it'll be good for WWE. Like I said, it could be WWE monopolizing everything. They don't want independent wrestlers to be independent, have their own form as far as being an individual. It's kind of like similar to their record industry, where it's a 360 deal, where you do sign a big contract, get money, but anytime you do something or you're either limited to doing something, you got to pay WWE a certain percentage. I have respect for Triple H. He's a good business for WWE. Oh yeah, definitely. But this is, let's say, I keep that in mind. I think, like I said, it kind of works in with the Next in Line programming. So I think that's what WWE is going to do. That's what their plans are. But it definitely is a game changer. I know that WWE's already shaking the foundation of the top wrestling promotion. We know that. But now they're shaking the foundation as the top developmental program with NXT, Next in Line, and now you have the independent development. Now you have this whole thing going on as well. So we got to keep that in mind too. That is a game changer, whether people want to believe it or not. It's definitely going to shift things in a whole different direction. It's definitely going to do that. I can say that to say the least. But I definitely see that happening. But we only one time gonna tell how this program is gonna work out. Hopefully, it works out for the better. But you got to know WWE is putting lock holes on everything, what you can do and what you cannot do. They will have restrictions on that. So let's keep that in mind. They definitely will do that. So we gotta definitely see what the next move is gonna be. So other than that, I see it as working out very well. I think it'll work out just fine as long as they get something going. It's good for the company, not great for individual. Exactly. I agree. It will hurt the wrestler, no doubt. It definitely will hurt them longer. This is how you block other companies from getting to talent before you decide to push or take that talent serious. Yeah, it's definitely being a gatekeeper, so to speak. You know, but that's how companies stay afloat nowadays. But we have more news not done here before we get to the bonus round. Other news, we got Vince McMahon plans to start a new wrestling promotion. Have you guys heard about that? The news said Vince McMahon reportedly working on setting up a post WWE company. According to Mike Johnson of PWInsider.com, Vince McMahon is working on setting up a post WWE company following his resignation from WWE and UFC parent company TKO Group Holdings. Johnson has noted the following. Let's see what else he had to say about that. Let's see. Let's read more about this situation. It says here that, according to Mike Johnson, it says here that McMahon, multiple sources with knowledge of the situation have confirmed McMahon has been in the process of setting up what has been described as a new entertainment hub company that will be financially backed, develop and produce film and television productions. The belief among those we've spoken with is that there are no plans for this company to launch anything similar to WWE, and they will instead focus on fiction and non-fiction projects. Several WWE alumni are said to be working with McMahon, including former Chief Operating Officer Brad Blum. At this time, Kevin Dunn is not expected to be part of Vince's new business. PWI Insider was also told that the potential company is expected to be based out of the Los Angeles area and when it officially launches. So, it's an entertainment hub company. It's not even a wrestling company. It's just entertainment producing fiction and non-fiction projects, aka another WWE Films Part 2. That's all it is. We know where this is going.
Spoken and spun like a true politician. I mean,
so that is the news for that. What do you guys think of that situation? Vince McMahon, he's going to start a wrestling promotion, but not a WWE, AEW. It's just a TV and film production. That's all it really is, according to this article PW Insider reported. It's not even a wrestling company. Bruliana said, once you sign up, you give your rights to negotiate for yourself. Back, yep, definitely gatekeeping. Nope, it's not a wrestling company. It's a TV and film production. Like I said, WWE is the number one promotion in the world. No one can beat it. Vince McMahon himself can't beat it. That's why he had to resign. But that's what it is, guys. There is no wrestling company. My question is this: is this company a win or a bust? Will this company of film and production will be a good one? Will it be successful? Will it thrive? Or will it be a complete bust? Of course, Vince McMahon charge got to be clear, obviously. That plays a factor too. But you guys tell me. Tyler says trash. Oh, man. But yeah, we got to wait and see what's going to happen. Definitely got to wait to see what the next move going to be for Vince McMahon and his future endeavor company he plans on setting up with. So we got to see how that whole thing's going to work out. But with that being said, guys, that is the end of that one. And we got to start the bonus round. I know NXT's coming up soon, so I will be on here a little bit, not too much longer. We got to start that, and we will do that. So let's get to that shortly. Let's get into Crown Jewel. Let's get into that. And we are, of course, done already with the whole WWE Raw #1 contendership tag team continues. We're done with that. We also done with Dominik Mysterio going one-on-one main event versus Damian Priest. That is done with as well. Of course, we talked about current news here. We talked about Vince McMahon new company, and we're definitely going. We talked about the new independent developmental program that WWE started within the company. But with that being said, let's get on to the bonus round here, and we are talking about, of course, we're talking about Crown Jewel final predictions. Now we know that Crown Jewel is going to be this upcoming Saturday. It will be a special time because it's in Saudi Arabia. So more likely for United States people that do watch the show, it will be more likely afternoon, depending on your time zone, Central Standard, Eastern, West Coast, Mountain Time, whatever the case may be. But it's an updated card. We have one more match added since this past Friday. And we're going to talk about the matches and who I have still winning. So let's talk about it. First match, we talked about the triple threat match for the United States Championship. We got LA Knight, the reigning United States champion, who held the belt for about a couple months now. He will defend it in a triple threat against Carmelo and Andrade, who, of course, they got their feud of the match 7, game 7. There's no decisive winner as special guest referee. LA Knight attacked both men. And Nick Aldis has ordered LA Knight to defend the championship in a triple threat. Now, who do I have winning it? If I had to guess, since LA Knight's a babyface and we need a new champion, I believe LA Knight not the best champion in my opinion. I say Carmelo Hayes sneaks out with this one. He gets the dub. I got him winning this one. It could very well be the case here. So let's not forget about that. That could be the case. I can see that happening. Very well see that happening. We're definitely going to see how that's going to go because we got, like I said, 7 matches on the card for this, and this may even kick off the show. Maybe kick off the show of Crown Jewel, but I definitely see what this may go. I got Carmelo Hayes winning this one. Let's get to the other matches on the card, shall we? We got Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. We got this match here. This is an unsanctioned match, by the way. Now, I talked about this matchup here. I talked about the whole Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed getting to it almost every Raw and not let anything breathe. Now, since this is an unsanctioned match, that's how they're setting this whole thing up. For those who don't know, unsanctioned means that anything goes. They can use any weapons they want. It's pretty much a no holds bar type of style match. Now, if they want to use steel chairs, if they want to use kendo sticks, if they want to use tables, they want to use ladders, if they want to use anything, fight in the ring, out the ring, whatever. Thing about unsanctioned is storyline. If anything happens, the rest is not liable for anything happens to you. Also, unsanctioned means that the match would not go on record. Meaning, if whoever wins this match, it's not going to really be in the record books because it's unsanctioned. With that being said, since it is unsanctioned, who do I have win this match? It's obvious that that's what they're going with. I'm going to give it to Seth Rollins. They want him. He seems like he's going to have the most offense. He's going to get over. And it seemed like they want to do that. I see it. So we'll see what happens. I think Seth Rollins, they're really building him despite Bronson Reed should be coming up. Despite that, that's what they're doing. But I see that's how they're going to book this match. I got Seth Rollins winning this match. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But other than that, though, I know it'll be a decent match, but Seth Rollins getting all the offense. I spoke on this before. That's what they want to do, and that's fine. But I don't see how they're gonna make Bronson win this match. Well, I could be wrong, but then again, I could be right too. So that's what I have for that particular match. We got Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. We got this match. Kevin Owens, he attacked Randy as he was losing his mind, and Randy didn't like it. He attacked Randy back that same later that night. Kevin Owens thinks that Randy turned on him, and Randy Orton demanded a match at Triple H on SmackDown. So they're gonna have a matchup. Kevin Owens has recently turned heel, attacked Cody backstage at Bad Blood. With that being said, if they're gonna build Kevin up to be this newly heel and look like a threat to Cody Rhodes' WWE Championship, you're gonna have to make him win this match. Meaning, I have Kevin Owens win this match against himself and Randy Orton. Randy Orton, at the point of his career, does not need this win. He's already a well-established superstar, 14-time world champion, future Hall of Famer. You guys know the rest if you follow Randy Orton's career. I don't think we need that for him to win this match. Kevin Owens needs to win way more than Randy, and that's cool. I have no problem with Kevin Owens winning the match. Like I say it all the time. I'm going to say it again. Booking is everything. If you book Kevin right, he could potentially be a WWE champion in the near future. I'm not saying he is, but he could be. But my guess, likely, he's not going to be a future WWE champion. But hopefully, the WWE booking and Kevin Owens can prove me wrong, because Cody Rhodes is still the champion. He is the face of the company, and he's going to pretty much hold on to the WWE Championship at least until next year's WrestleMania 41 that's in Las Vegas. But that's what I have for that particular matchup. KO defeats the Viper, Randy Orton, one-on-one. Now let's get to the tag team match. Newly tag team that's announced. No, let's get into one more match before that. Excuse me, I'm going a little too fast here. I want to talk about another matchup here. We're going to talk about two tag team matches. We'll talk about the Crown Jewel matches, and we'll talk about the tag team matches as well. So we'll talk about that too. But what we'll do first, we'll talk about the new match that was just added on, and we'll talk about the Crown Jewel matches as well. But let's talk about this first. Let's see. We'll talk about this new match here. We'll talk about the 6-man tag. Roman Reigns and the Usos versus the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. So now this is, of course, the newly OG Bloodline getting back together again. We have that. We do we have these three reuniting. I know wrong. Like I said, Jay Uso said he got stuff to fix. They do have the Bloodline that's still intact. Jacob would not be in this match. Now, to keep Roman in the original Bloodline looking strong, getting back to dominance, I think the only way you can do that is if you have a win. My prediction for this match, I have Roman and the Usos winning this tag team matchup. I think that would be the best way possible. You make Roman look good. You make the Usos look good. This will be the first time all three of these guys got back together as a stable, and the first time the Usos wrestled together again, Jimmy and Jay, because they know last time these two were in the ring together was WrestleMania 40, brother versus brother, Jimmy versus Jay. So, which match was terrible, by the way. But Bloodline, they just lost the tag team titles. They've been looking dominant for the past several months. They don't need to win this. Let Roman and the Usos win this match, and I think that'd be the best thing for business-wise. That's how I would do that. It only makes sense to do it that way. But we'll get on to one of the men's Crown Jewel Championship match. We got Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the first ever Crown Jewel Championship for the men's division. You got the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes versus Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion. Gunther, let's call it what it is. He's the secondary champion. Cody's the top champion. He's holding the longest. He held the belt longest out of anybody, and he's holding the oldest championship, which is the WWE Championship. Well, I ain't gonna say the longest because that's tied into the Universal belt, but Cody's holding pretty much the more prestigious belt on paper. Gunther's holding a prestigious belt too, but since it hasn't had that many holders compared to Cody's title, meaning Cody is, since he is the top champion, since he is the top merchandise seller, I can see him. Maybe we get interference from KO to attack Cody, and I would see possibly Goldberg. They say Goldberg's not going to be in Saudi Arabia, but WWE be lying. They lying to fool us. Make us think that he's not coming, makes things not so obvious. But we see you, WWE. You can't fool us.
What you need to do is stop playing. You might have all these crusty, dusty musties tricked, but you ain't tricking us.
However, with this match, I see Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes will win this match between himself and Gunther. He will win the first ever Crown Jewel champion. Because Cody does not need to take no lose. He'll need to be pinned right now. And I think it makes sense for Cody to win. Gunther wins. It'll be a shocker. We'll see what happens next. Off topic, Ric Flair loses another son for... Oh, that's his stepson. That's his stepson. Yeah, I know about that. That's his stepson. He unalived himself. Yes. Rest in peace to that young man that unalived himself. That's the last thing we all want to hear. Someone did that to themselves, harm themselves in any way possible. But that's the prediction I have for that match with Gunther versus Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Let's get on to the women's matches, shall we? We have a women's tag team match, and it's for the women's tag team championships. So we got Jade Cargill and Bianca, the champions. They'll defend the championships, but not against one tag team, two tag teams, but 3 tag teams altogether. And those tag teams are Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson of Metal 4 against Damage Control of Kairi Sane and Io Sky, and also the team of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Now, the last time Bianca and Jay defend these titles in a triple threat or a 4-way tag team, they lost at Clash of Castle when they lost the titles to Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, Unholy Union. I don't see that case happening again. They still need to build Bianca and Jay. That's a prominent, dominant tag team, and they can defend this tag team against many other competitors. I know they've beaten some already. So with that being said, my prediction for this particular match of the 4-way match for the women's tag team championships, I have, in my opinion, Bianca and Jade Cargill retaining the women's tag team titles. It would be horrible if they book this before they lose at when they do defend the titles against multiple teams, especially in a different country. Like I said, we saw this before at Clash at Castle, I believe. So I highly doubt that happens again. I hope they don't book like that again. But only time will remain to see what happens next for the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, because they have held it on longer now than they did prior. So I think their first run was only like a little over a month. So I think this time around, they have held on to these belts a little bit longer. I think they hold on to the belts, I want to say, for approximately, it's been a good, how long they had these belts? I want to say since, I'm thinking off the top of my head, they think they had it now for almost 2 months. They won at Bash and Berlin. So we'll see what else happens there. I got those 2 retaining. And last but not least, we do have one more match. This is for the Crown Jewel Championship for the women's division. And this is Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. You have the WWE Women's Champion in Nia Jax, and you do have the Women's World Champion in Liv Morgan. Now, who do I see winning this match? I know people are still saying that Tiffany Stratton will cash in on Nia Jax that night. People are still saying that it will be interference from the Judgment Day of Raquel Rodriguez attacking Nia Jax. With that being said, those are all right. Liv Morgan, I have winning this match and being the first ever women's Crown Jewel champion. Tiffany cashing in, I still say that may not happen That's still a long shot ahead. I don't see that being the case here. I could be wrong, but I don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening. How that makes sense to do that. But we'll see what else happens on Crown Jewel. I just don't see it right now. I don't see how that would make sense for that to go down. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong with how they're going to do that. But I just don't see it. Well, we're gonna wait and see what the next move is going to be. Definitely going to see what the next move is going to be with this match. I'd be very shocked if Nia wins. If Nia wins this match, then I know that she may have the Money in the Bank contract cashed in on her. But then again, Liv could be cashed on as well by Tiffany Stratton. But then again, Liv do have Raquel Rodriguez on her side to protect her. But we're gonna wait and see. We're gonna wait and see what happens between this matchup. But it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna book this whole entire thing. Because Crown Jewel, like I said, this is a 7-match card. That's going to be all these matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got the United States Championship being defended. That's one title. We do have 2 Crown Jewel Championship matches. And we have a Women's Tag Team Championship match. So 4 matches out of these 7, it will be a title defended or fighting for a first ever champion in the Crown Jewel Championship. And also the Crown Jewel Championship is only once a year. Whoever wins the Crown Jewel Championship will not be carrying the championship every week on Raw or SmackDown. Whoever wins is only for Crown Jewel only. I want to notate that too. But we'll be interested to see who's going to win and who's going to lose. Maybe we get the Champions crown, maybe we don't. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they're going to play out all these matches of Crown Jewel. Because it's definitely going to be some very good, interesting matchups in here. So WWE, I know they're going to do everything they can to keep everything flowing in the right way possible. But other than that, though, guys, who do you have for these picks of these matches? The matches that are advertised, who's going to win what match? Who's going to come home with what Crown Jewel Championship? What surprise appearance we may see happen? Who's going to show up at Crown Jewel? Do we get people showing up at Crown Jewel? Do we get surprise appearance? Because that does happen at these international PLEs. Somebody comes out of nowhere, they show up, and they shock everybody. That could very well be the case here. I don't know. We don't know who's going to show up per se, but it could very well be the case when it comes down to Crown Jewel. Like I said, it's November 1st. It's November 1st. It is, I believe it's going to be, I don't know what time it's going to be. As far as that goes, I don't know what time Crown Jewel is going to be per se. Normally, it may be 1 o'clock in the States. But we got one more PLE after this. We got Survivor Series War Games. So whatever stories happen here, it'll carry on over to Survivor Series War Games. Then next thing you know, we have Saturday night's main event, and then that's it. You got Royal Rumble in February 2025. So that's how that goes. We're gonna see what else happens. Definitely. But other than that, though, guys, this is gonna be a good card. I think it's gonna be a game changer. I think Crown Jewel pretty much is like the WrestleMania of Saudi Arabia. They got 2 brand new titles we're gonna have. They got brand new everything. So let's keep that in mind. What's gonna happen? But like I said, guys, it'll be very, very interesting to see what the next move is gonna be. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. Well, it's gonna be definitely some fun. And that's all I have for Crown Jewel final prediction match. Final match card for 2024 Crown Jewel. These are matches that we're gonna see my predictions for these matches. Maybe I'm right on some of these, maybe I'm wrong on some of these. But we're definitely gonna check out, see what they're gonna do with Crown Jewel. Hopefully, it's gonna be fun one like last year. But you guys let me know what you think of Crown Jewel, or the Masters predictions and everything. Maybe we'll get some interesting stuff that's going to happen at this PLE. Soon to reveal to pop up, guys. You guys click the links below. You guys already know what it is at this point. It is OUT.
Something happened this weekend, and I have been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.